On April 20th, we will experience one of the most dynamic and important astrological transits of 2024. And it is a Jupiter and Uranus conjunction in the sign of Taurus. Now, this is a pretty big deal for several reasons. And if you've watched any other astrology videos or any other astrology videos that actually talk about this transit, you'll hear words like breakthrough, windfall, and abundance, right? I'm here to tell you though, what you can really expect from this transit. And it is absolutely nothing. All right. So in this video, I will explain everything you need to know about the upcoming Jupiter and Uranus conjunction in Taurus. And I will even break it down by sign so that you know exactly what to expect, or should I say what not to expect with this transit. All right. So stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If this is our first time meeting, welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and the founder of divinefeminineworks, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So this video is all about the upcoming conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus, okay? Now, I typically don't do transit specific videos unless they're really important, right? We experience astrological transits daily, right? And transits are really just the planets in aspect to each other. It's basically the angle that the planets make to each other and the sort of conversation that they have. You'll have a bunch of different transits on any given day. That is nothing new. However, there are certain transits that happen rarely that bear mention. And this is one of those transits. As a matter of fact, it's one of the premier events of 2024, apart from the eclipses, right? Now, we're definitely getting into more technical astrological information, but I know that you can handle it because you've been watching most of my videos, right? Right. So this particular transit is important because it is going to affect us in a very dynamic sort of way. Jupiter is the planet of abundance, and Uranus is the planet of surprise and change. When you put those together, you indeed have the energy that is ripe for breakthroughs. Suffice it to say, however this transit transpires in your life, you will likely not forget it, and it will likely set you perhaps on a new course, or more likely will open new doors to you that may not have been open to you before, all right? But it's sort of a catch-22 because as much amazingness that can happen, there also could be not that much that happens, right? Because anytime we talk about Uranus, Uranus is the planet of surprises. So even during this video, I can tell you what you can expect, but really, like, if I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, like, you really shouldn't expect anything because Uranus is always full of surprises. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the details. And of course, we start with the basics. All right. So let's break this whole situation down into digestible pieces. So we're going to talk a little bit about Jupiter, Uranus, Taurus, and the aspect known as a conjunction. So first, Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and it represents quite a few things. It represents wisdom. It represents law and order. It represents, I almost forgot what I was going to say. Abundance. Jupiter represents abundance and wealth, right? Most importantly, Jupiter represents expansion, right? I just said that Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. So anywhere that Jupiter is in your natal chart or in your transit chart is the area of life where you will experience expansion and growth, all right? This is very important, especially as it relates to Taurus, okay? However, let's talk about Uranus. Like I alluded to before, Uranus is the planet of sudden change. It's the planet of rebellion and innovation. Uranus breaks out the mold. Uranus is revolutionary. Think of someone breaking through a glass, right? That is the essence of Uranus energy. I like to call Uranus the hand of God because it represents energy that's not within our control. It represents the cosmos. It represents God's hand moving everything around in our lives. Now, what's interesting is when you think about Jupiter as it relates to Uranus, right? They sort of embody the same kind of energy. All right, let me explain. So in mythology, Jupiter was known in Greek mythology as Zeus and in Roman mythology as Jupiter. So Jupiter represents God. It represents the cosmos. It represents order in the universe, right? And then you pair that with Uranus, which is also like the hand of God, but in a different way. See, the way that Jupiter works is that Jupiter is like about order. It's about peace. It's about abundance. It's about being fruitful, right? It's peaceful. Whereas Uranus is the chaotic hand of God, right? Where things can change suddenly, where things can move around unexpectedly, right? One of the things that came to mind when I was doing the research for this video was in mythology, Zeus or Jupiter typically would throw down these lightning bolts onto mankind, right? You know, Jupiter, Zeus was in the sky on Mount Olympus and man was on Earth, right? And every so often when Jupiter wanted to effect change or destroy something, he would throw down his thunderbolt. As a matter of fact, Zeus/Jupiter is known for those thunderbolts. And that's kind of how you can think about this transit of Jupiter conjunct Uranus in Taurus. It's a thunderbolt being thrown into your life. And because it's so surprising, that's why I say that you can't necessarily expect anything, right? You kind of have to roll with the punches. However, I will say that this particular transit does indeed have the energy signature of a breakthrough. Like I said before, it's like breaking glass, all right? So now let's talk about Taurus because all of this is going down in the sign of Taurus. Now you've got all of this godlike energy, this cosmic energy, this surprising breakthrough kind of energy going down in a fixed sign, in the fixed sign of Taurus. Taurus is the bull, right? Taurus doesn't want to move for anything or anyone. It is stable. It is stubborn. Taurus is also very sensual and materialistic. Okay. So Taurus likes to be comfortable, likes to be cozy, likes to be, surrounded by its material possessions. And that's where it wants to stay. Meanwhile, this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is going to throw a lightning bolt at this stability to shake things up and to help you expand. I want you to remember that when you're experiencing how this transit transpires in your life, right? This may be a shakeup. This may be a breakthrough. This may be a windfall in a good way, right? Because Jupiter is known as a benefic planet, meaning that it bestows beneficial energy, positive energy, if you will. Okay. So this is getting you to venture out of your comfort zone. It's not getting you to venture out of your comfort zone. It is kind of lighting a fire under your ass via that lightning bolt to get you to move out of your comfort zone. Think of it as when the cattle prod, right? They light it on fire and then they brand the cattle, and the cattle, if it's not being held down, it's going to buck. It's going to run, right? That's kind of how this transit is going to work, but that's not a bad thing, right? Maybe we need to be moved out of our comfort zone. Maybe we've been so stuck in a particular situation or a relationship, and it is time to move in a surprising, sudden, and dynamic kind of way, okay? Now, Taurus, as a zodiac sign, is ruled by the planet Venus. So this breakthrough or windfall may have to do with Venusian kind of things, namely relationships, love, money, pleasure, right? Beauty, creativity. This may be a transit where you get a spark of creativity and you create something absolutely beautiful that you can monetize. Or maybe, boom, you find your soulmate and you finally get together. Or maybe nothing really happens. That is the enigma that is Uranus energy. It's surprising. You don't know how things are going to pop off. All right. So I want to advise you to manage your expectations with this. Now, I haven't heard too many other astrologers talk about this transit. There have been a few here and there. So I don't know if you are inundated with this information or not, or if this is the first video that you're actually hearing of this transit. However, like I said before, it is really important. And if you are tapped into the energy, try to keep an even keel, right? This may be a seriously positive impact in your life. This could be a windfall of money. This could be, like I said, a relationship finally coming together, right? This could be moving you out of your comfort zone into something wonderful and expansive, right? Like this could take you to absolutely new heights, or it could do nothing at all for you, right? Either way, you need to be okay with it, right? Now, expansion is definitely the name of the game with this particular transit. And moving out of your comfort zone is not always comfortable, right? Clearly. But the point is to grow you, to expand you. So there is an element of personal development inherent in the energy of this transit, especially as it relates to Venusian things, right? Whatever has been stuck, whatever has been stable, whatever has been, dare I say, stagnant in your life may be shaken up in a very visceral sort of way, because Taurus is a sensual sign. It's concerned with the five senses. So this breakthrough, this shakeup, you may actually feel it, or it may have a very real impact on your five senses. All right. Nothing to be afraid of, right? Because Jupiter is the most, apart from the sun in certain instances, the most positive planet in astrology, right? This particular transit is going to be positive. Even if it doesn't feel positive at the time, it may be one of those blessing in disguise kind of situations. So definitely stay open and receptive to whatever change is occurring to you at this time in your life. All right. It's super important that you allow yourself to be expanded. You allow yourself to grow. Resist the urge to be stuck, stagnant, stubborn, stuck in the mud, or even conservative, right? There is, okay, perfect example. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Look at the glyph for Sagittarius. It's an arrow, right? Pointing to the sky. There's a certain level of elevation that this particular transit is going to afford you. But if you're not receptive to it, if you're scared, if you are too stubborn to change, the new heights that the universe and God are trying to bring you to is not going to happen, because you prefer to be comfortable. You prefer what you know. You prefer what you're used to. So again, this particular transit may be a little jarring, but it's ultimately taking you to new heights and helping you with your ascension. All right. So allow. Remember I said before, Zeus, Jupiter, considered, he was the god of gods in Greek and Roman mythology, right? And then you have Uranus, which is the hand of God. It's like God is trying to give you a serious upgrade, a serious windfall, a serious elevation right now. And you have to, let me not say you have to, you should be receptive to it, okay? So hopefully you allow whatever is changing in your life with this transit to transpire. You allow your mind to be expanded. Now, this may be seeing things from a wider vantage point. Whatever transpires, and depending on where this transit is going down in your natal chart, as it pertains to your natal chart, this may be a perspective shift, right? Which can sometimes be a little dicey, can sometimes be a little uncomfortable, right? Because maybe we've had a certain belief for a long time. And now this particular transit is sort of breaking that belief down. It could even be sort of like decimating that belief and getting you to see things from a completely different point of view, to give you a wider view, a wider vantage point, right? Allow yourself to be expanded. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to soar with this transit. All right. And again, also expect the unexpected. Not only should you not really expect anything, right? But you should also expect everything, because when we're talking about Uranus, anything goes. It's where we relinquish control and we let God and the universe work their magic. All right. All right. Now let's discuss the aspect known as a conjunction. So in astrology, aspects refer to the angle that the planets make between each other. And each angle or each type of aspect has a different energy signature. So when we're talking about a conjunction, we're talking about two planets that are at the exact same degree. They are together. They are conjoined. So there are 0 degrees between them. So conjunctions in astrology denote synergy and unity. It's like you're blending the energy of the two planets together. So when we're talking about Jupiter, we're talking about abundance. We're talking about expansion and growth. And when we're talking about Uranus, we're talking about surprises, changes, rebellion, and breaking out of the mold. So understand that the conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus, it's almost like a rocket in a sense. So perfect example, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And if you look at the glyph for Sagittarius, it is an arrow pointing upward to the sky. When I think about this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, it almost resembles like a rocket, right? A rocket that just shoots up into the air. This, and understand that that rocket also has some very erratic energy to it. It's breaking something new, breaking into something new. Think about like space exploration, right? And how we're trying to get to Mars. We're trying to get to other planets, although I believe we already have. We just haven't been told that we have, but that's another story for another day. But it's like exploring outer space. It's going to new places. This conjunction is like a rocket full of power that is trying to take you to a new dimension. And it's really important that you remember that, because the way that this transit is configured, it is going to have you moving and shaking and kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone. All right. So definitely don't forget that. So now I'm going to break it down by sign to enumerate, is that a word? I don't think so. To detail what you can expect or not expect with this particular transit. All right, so let's break this transit down by sign. So of course we start off with Aries. So keep in mind that this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is going down in the sign of Taurus. So for Aries rising, Taurus is your second house of money and material possessions. So this breakthrough that you may be having will likely have to do with money or personal finances, or maybe even your self-worth, okay? Next up, we've got Taurus. Taurus, this conjunction of Uranus and Jupiter is going down in your first house of self. So this may be a time where you're experiencing personal growth, personal development, and your whole vantage point and outlook on life is changing and elevating. For Gemini, this particular transit, this Jupiter conjunct Uranus transit, is going down in your 12th house of solitude and self-undoing. I know the 12th house sounds like gloom and doom, but it's not. The 12th house has a lot to do with your inner world and your subconscious. So a lot of the changes and the breakthroughs that you may or may not be experiencing with this transit are going to be going on subconsciously. So how you feel and the subconscious programming that you're running on is likely going to change with this transit. Next up, we've got Cancer rising, and this conjunction is going down in your 11th house of friendship and goals. So maybe you will start associating with new people, or maybe the goals and aspirations that you have in life are going to soar. Perhaps you're going to start dreaming a lot bigger than you normally have. Your vantage point and your ability to create and to imagine what you want is likely going to expand. Next up, we've got Leo. And for you, Leo rising, this conjunction is going down in your 10th house of career and public life. So this may bring a climb, or let me say a rocketing up the corporate ladder. This may be a time where you experience breakthroughs with respect to your business, if you're a business owner, or perhaps your social status or social standing will likely elevate with this particular transit. Next up, we've got Virgo. And for you, Virgo rising, this conjunction is going down in your 9th house of higher education and long distance travel. The 9th house is also the house of spirituality. It's also the house of expansion. So you will likely have an expansion of your mind. Perhaps you start planning trips to far off places, or maybe you're offered a trip to go someplace far and exotic. Maybe this is the time that you're going to start higher education, like getting your master's degree, your law degree, or your doctor degree, your medical degree, right? Either way, expansion on a very mental level, right? And an expansion of wisdom is likely to occur for you during this transit. All right. Now keep in mind for all of these things may happen or they may not happen. Like I said, Uranus, you never know what you're going to get. Next up, we've got Libra. And for you, Libra, this is going down in your 8th house of intimacy and shared resources. So maybe now is the time to reach new heights, or should I say new depths in your intimate relationship, stronger bonds between you and your partner. When it comes to shared resources, such as financing, such as commingled funds with a spouse, maybe these things are increasing. Maybe you get a windfall, or maybe you even get an inheritance, okay? Sky's the limit with this, or not. You get it. Next up, we've got Scorpio. And Scorpio, this is going down for you in your 7th house of committed partnership and relationship. So this may be taking a relationship to a whole new level. This may be meeting your soulmate. This may be signing the dotted line on a business deal that is just absolutely wonderful, right? Either way, for you, this has to do with partnerships. So you may find that you get locked down or booed up with the person of your dreams. All right. Next up, we've got Sagittarius. Sagittarius rising, this is going down for you in your 6th house of work and health. So while the 6th house tends to be the boring house, right? Work and health are not necessarily sexy topics. For you, this may be taking your daily routine to new heights. This may be some sort of windfall or some sort of breakthrough when it comes to your work, meaning your 9-to-5 job, or maybe a wonderful breakthrough when it comes to your physical health. Either way, things are going to be elevating for you on a daily and a sort of mundane level. All right. Next up, we've got Capricorn. Capricorn rising for you. This transit is going down in your 5th house of self-expression, romance, and children. So this transit may usher in a new era of romantic partnerships, right? Maybe you start dating a lot more. Maybe the caliber of people that you start to date are much better, which is always a great thing. Maybe your creativity and your ability to express yourself is heightened, right? What I'm seeing right now is like a certain part of your personality being unlocked, a part of your personality that's a lot more expressive and creative that may come to the forefront and not only surprise you, but probably surprise everyone around you as well. Next up, we've got Aquarius. So Aquarius rising, this transit is going down in your 4th house of home and family. So maybe that dream that you've had of home ownership or owning property or buying land may finally come through at this time in a very unexpected sort of way. Maybe things with your family are elevating. Maybe there's additions to the family, right? Jupiter represents abundance. If we're talking about family, there may be new additions, there may be births, there may be new people coming into the fold of who you call your family, right? Either way, it's like your family life is going to be a lot more abundant or not. You know how it goes. And then finally, we've got Pisces. So for you, Pisces, this transit is going down in your 3rd house of communication and ideas. This particular transit is likely going to blow your mind, literally. Learning new and exciting skills, learning skills that can elevate you, learning things that can even help you in things like business, right? Because the 3rd house has a lot to do with transacting business. So more business opportunities, more activity in your immediate vicinity. Maybe something is going on with you and your siblings that may bring abundance or good fortune to you and your family, right? Or even those people around you. All right. So like I said, sky's the limit with this particular transit. Or it could also be nothing. However, it's important to understand that whatever transpires, no matter how big, how little, or how subtle, or how grand, it is ultimately to get you to ascend. So even if it's jarring, even if it's super surprising, even if you feel like you're not ready for it, embrace it, because you are ultimately being guided to soar at this time. All right, my loves. So that concludes this video on the upcoming Jupiter and Uranus conjunction in Taurus. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you could use to move forward successfully. If you want to know more about my products and services, all of that is either linked to the video or in the description box below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this transit brings you absolutely nothing but abundance and breakthroughs in your life. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.